Hey everyone, welcome back. We all know thrifting can be fun. We all know thrifting can be profitable. But did you know thrifting can be dangerous? That's right, thrifting has almost killed me twice over the past 10 years. And we'll talk about that right after this. Have any of you ever read this book? It's the Uncle John's Slightly Irregular Bathroom Reader. Now, there's a whole series of these books, and they all provide snippets of reading material from when you're otherwise occupied and maybe not scrolling through your phone. I bought a bunch of these one time, and when I used to work, I used to always share, what I bought with my coworker. He liked listening. And I told him I bought a bunch of these kind of books, and he turned his nose up. Do you know why? Well, if you don't, I'll share it to you at the end of this video. Several years ago, we were out thrifting. We were out yard selling on Saturday morning. And as usual, it was getting late in the morning and we were tired. And we came upon this yard sale. And I don't even remember what we bought. And I don't even think it had to do with me trying to resell it. I think it was just something that we were buying. Maybe a couple of plant stands. All I know is they were heavy. And of course, being a man, you know how men are, you want to carry all the bags of groceries at one time. You want to carry everything in at one time. You want to make one trip. So, being the man that I was, I decided I was going to take both these heavy plant stands to the car. Well, one in each hand worked fine. I could do it. Well, I had them in my hand, and I'm walking down the sidewalk. And I guess I better learn to pick up my feet. Because as I'm walking, I tripped over a piece of raised concrete. Now, instead of doing the smart thing and letting everything drop, for some reason it happened so fast I held on to him right to the ground and face planted on the concrete. Now I'm laying there stunned, of course, trying to take stock to make sure, I'm actually okay. And I hear people rushing around, hear the gasp when I fall. And I'm trying to take stock if I'm okay. I immediately know my glasses are broken. They're still on my face, but I can feel they're at an odd angle, so I know they're broken. I start thinking again, and I can feel that my teeth, something's wrong with my teeth. Maybe chipped, maybe loose, I can't tell. I know something's wrong with them. And I'm pretty sure I got scrapes and bruises on my face because I feel those too. So I'm starting to push myself up, and everybody's rushing over to make sure I'm okay. Especially the homeowner who's worried about a lawsuit. But I push myself up and again take stock of, how I'm feeling. When I feel I'm comfortable standing, I get up and Ella and I finish loading the plant stands into the vehicle, and I can tell my arms are hurting from where I guess I splayed out, on the concrete, and get in the car. Still more shocked than feeling the hurt. On the way home, I start taking stock again. Yes, my glasses are broken. They're still on my face, but they're broken. Teeth feel funny. And my arms are hurting. Both arms. So I get home, get cleaned up, and I look at my arms, and I notice massive bruising on both the insides of my arms. Turns out I've sprained both arms. Could have been worse. Could have got a concussion. I think I hit the concrete pretty hard. So it could have been much worse than, what I have. But if you ever had a sprained arm or sprained anything, they're nothing to trifle with. I mean, some people say sprains are worse than breaks. I don't know. But I have both arms sprained, and I could not do anything with either arm. And if you ever had one sprained arm or one broken arm, you automatically could switch to the other arm and start doing things. But with both sprained arms, it made life very difficult. Of course, time heals all wounds, literally, and I got over it. But that's the first time that thrifting almost killed me. It could have very easily if I hit the concrete a little bit harder. The second time is more recent. Last year, we went to a yard sale and I found a whole stash of Dungeons and Dragons type games, video games, and sword and sorcery type DVDs in a box. And I start pawing through the box and I'm taking out more than I'm leaving behind. And I finally asked the lady, how much for all of them? And she tells me, and I think it's a fair price. So I said, okay. And she looked at me and said, are you a gamer? Now I've had people ask me this before. It's either are you a gamer, are you a collector, anything like that. And I always say yes, because I want what they're going to offer next. It may be a little white lie, but I've been a gamer. I am a collector. Probably not in the way they mean, but what the heck. So she says she has lots more Dungeons and Dragons material down in her shed. Cool, I thought. Can I look at it? And she said, yeah, come on. So I follow her down to the shed and she opens up. Sure enough, there's like 4 or 5 boxes loaded with Dungeons and Dragons type material. Books, figures, some magazines. So I start flipping through them. I pick up one and I scan it and it comes up $100+ I knew right then and there I wanted all of it. So I said, how much? And she said, well, what are you offering? Now people always do this. They always ask, what are you offering? What do you want to give for it? And I've found that the person who gives the first price in a negotiation usually loses out. So I always throw it back to them. I say, well, what do you think they're worth? They're yours. And she said, I was thinking $400. Now I know that's probably a good deal for everything I see here. I could probably make my money back and a little bit more, but you know how it is when you're on these negotiations. You want to get as much as you can get. So I say I was thinking more like 100. I sort of feign, indignation that she's wants so much for this stuff. And she comes back, no, that's too low. And I really know it is, but she's going to offer a slightly higher, and maybe we'll meet in the middle, but it's certainly better than the 400 she first offered. So she comes back with $200. And I think that's fair for both her and me. So I say sold. Of course, the only problem is I don't have $200 on me. So I have to run to the bank, get the $200, come back, and load all this stuff into the van. I get all this stuff home, and I'm always hesitant about bringing boxes into the house. Pasteboard boxes, cardboard boxes, whatever you want to call them. Especially if they've been in a shed. Because I don't want to bring insects into my house. So I unload the boxes and bring just the books in. And before I do, open one, and sure enough, a roach scurries out of one of the books. So I think they've been in there a while. Luckily, the books are in good shape, as far as I can tell. I don't see any roach droppings. I don't see any mouse droppings on the books themselves. I think there's some in the box. So I bring all the books in, and I also bring all the DVDs and games in that we bought. And I've got them all stacked in my office, and I'm going through them. It's Sunday morning, and I needed to get through these things, so I had other things to do. So I start listening to books, and everything's going fine. And I grab a CD and look at it, and it's fine. I scan it. Then I grab a game. It's a Dungeons and Dragons type game, sorcery type game. I don't remember exactly what it was. And as usual, before I list anything, I always open it up and make sure the DVD's in there or the game's in there, or make sure it's in good shape. So I open this game up, and I see this white powder or something on the game. It's on the front. I pick it up. It's on the back. It's in the case. And I'm used to finding junk and trash and all on stuff I find. And I really know better than to touch it barehanded. I mean, I've even bought storage unit auctions, and I've, gloved up before I paw through everything. I've had a storage unit auction that was a drug dealer, and as I'm pawing through, I found, drug paraphernalia, and you need gloves when you're dealing with dirty stuff. But I was in my house, I had the stuff all around me, and I just picked up the disc, brought it to my trash can, and tried to dust the stuff off. And looked at the disc. It was fine. I mean, it had a few scratches on it, but I thought I could sell it. So I listed it and put it back in my listed pile. Well, I'm sitting trying to work on another, and all of a sudden I start getting hot. My face starts getting hot. And in our office, we have lots of equipment. We have 2 computers, 4 monitors, a television, and a component system, remote component system for the big screen TV in the living room. So I know it gets hot in here. And that's why we bought a little portable, air conditioning. And I have it to my side here. It's loud, so I don't have it on when I'm, trying to make a video. But my face starts getting hot, and I don't know why. I mean, the rest of me is a little bit warm, but my face is getting tremendously hot. So what do? I spin my chair around, turn on the air conditioner, and put my face right down on it to try to cool off. It's helping, but I'm beginning to think that something's not right about this. And as I'm trying to get cooled off, I notice my hands. I don't look at them, but I notice my hands start getting itchy. I start wringing my hands, trying to stop the itch, but the itch is on the inside. This is not doing any good because they're still itchy. And now I know something's wrong. And I realize that my feet are getting itchy too. And I'm, moving my feet together, trying to scratch my feet, trying to scratch my hands, trying to keep my head cool. And I'm all the time thinking, what's wrong? And I realize I'm having an allergic reaction to something. Probably that powder that was on the DVD or game. But the problem is, what do I do about it? Now, I know allergic reactions can be deadly. They can kill you if you're, too allergic to something. And as far as I know, I've never been allergic to anything in my life. So it's not like I have things here to, I don't have an EpiPen handy to jab in myself because I'm having an allergic reaction. So what am I going to do? My face is burning up. My hands and feet are itching. I don't know what's going on. So in my mind, I'm thinking, what can I do? Then I remembered something. I remembered a while back, we bought some Benadryl for our dog, of all things. Our dog is deathly afraid of thunderstorms. And I've read that giving the dog a Benadryl before the thunderstorm moves in, it will calm the dog, maybe help the dog sleep a little through the storm. So I'm remembering the Benadryl. And I know Benadryl is good for allergic reactions. So I reluctantly push myself away from the air conditioner, and my face just heats up again. And I finally look at myself. My hands are beet red. I look down at my feet. My feet are beet red. And I wouldn't be surprised at this point if everything else about me was beet red that I can't see yet. Now, I stumble to the kitchen, and I open the cabinet, and I'm trying to find the Benadryl. And I finally find it, and it's in a little pill form. So grab it out, and I'm trying to open it. My hands are itchy. I'm miserable. My face is hot. I'm worried. I'm scared at that point. I finally get the Benadryl open and pop 2 of them. Grab me something to drink out of the refrigerator and just stand there trying to figure out what to do next. Now, I know the Benadryl won't work automatically, but I'm hoping I arrested the development of whatever's going on. But I'm still burning up. So I wander back and I get in the shower to get a cold shower. As I'm taking off clothes, I see everything about me is like beet red. And what scared me even more, obviously. So I step in the shower, cold water on full, and just stand there under the cold water and let it run over me and try to soothe not only the heat in my face and body, but also the itch in my hands and feet. And as I'm standing there, at least I think I feel it lessening. And finally I get tired of standing in the cold water and I step out. Apparently the Benadryl is working because I'm feeling a little bit better. And I dry off and I'm looking at myself. And yeah, I am beet red everywhere. I can see things a little more clearly now that I'm not thinking I'm about to die. So I'm looking at myself. Yeah, it's beet red, but it seems to be lessening. So I pull on some clothes and I go lay down. And as I'm laying there, I can feel my hands stop itching as much, my feet stop itching as much. Of course, the benefit is starting to take a track. I'm starting to get fed. I'm starting to get sleepy at this point. I don't want to go to sleep right now because, I don't want to die in my sleep from an allergic reaction. But as I'm laying there, fighting to stay awake and looking at me, I'm feeling better. Everything's feeling better. And I think I drift off. When I wake up, short time later, I'm looking at myself. I'm still a bit red, but my hands aren't itching, my feet aren't itching. I think I'm better. I'm out of the woods. But I'm out for the rest of the day, so to speak. I mean, the Benadryl has knocked me out, and I'm tired. I'm worried, I'm still just a little bit red and a little bit hot. But as the day progresses, I get better and better. And by that nighttime, everything's fine. So, had I not had that Benadryl, there's a very good chance that whatever I had was on that disc, probably some kind of drugs, would have killed me. And I learned a valuable lesson at that point, that if you see something like that on anything that you buy, don't touch it with your bare hands, use gloves. I know that's common sense, but when you're sitting there in the heat of the moment working and you see something, my first instinct is just to brush it off. I'm not thinking that's drugs. I'm not thinking it's about something poisonous or anything like that. It's on a disc, for goodness sakes. It's not like you're out in the yard touching something or, having an allergic reaction to peanuts that can cause an allergic reaction. But always be sure and be careful to dust something off that with gloved hands or a tissue or something, because you never know what you're going to have a reaction to. So that's the story, how I've almost got killed twice with thrifting. One of them was my fault. I tried to carry too much with one hand and I didn't pick up my feet. And the other one, I just had no idea. It came out of the blue, and thank goodness for Benadryl, and thank goodness that I bought it, for our dog JC, for fear of thunderstorms. So that's it. It just goes to show you just can never tell what you're going to get into when you go thrifting. All right, back to my book. Did you understand why my coworker turned up his nose at this book? Can you even think about it? I had not really thought about this, but I guess he's right. I bought a pre-owned bathroom book. Where do you keep bathroom books? In the bathroom, obviously. So he perceived it to be dirty, maybe germy. And he probably had a point. I never really thought about that, but I guess I should be handling this with gloves too, right? I guess I don't learn from my mistakes. But never had any problem with the bathroom books. And there's some fun reading when you're not flipping your phone. So think about it. Right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you like what you've seen here and you like my other videos, please hit subscribe. Hit the bell notification down there and the subscribe button, and I would appreciate it. Be sure to click like. And I got a little behind on my schedule making videos, but I'm going to try to do better. So we'll talk again.